So I just got back from the gym, training in karate. Anyway, this fool here, I think it was 2 days ago. I was going to do this live, but I said, ah, the hell with it. Puts up that Jeff Speakman, a 10th degree black belt in American Kempo, is a disgrace to Kempo because he wore his belt around his neck. My comment was, I've used my belt for training as a training tool. It's a piece of cloth. It's the person wearing the belt. Because this fool goes on and on about his belt. Well, I've never seen him fight, so what's his belt matter? But anyway, here's the discussion. I'll pause it and comment. I'll read it to you. This is me, Super Gringo. I use my belt as a training tool. It's a piece of cloth. It's the person wearing the belt, right? And he disagreed. You'll see, I believe he's probably not flying with all four engines firing because I believe he's a teacher. And as we know in the United States, teaching has been infiltrated by and hard to read because I'm still hot from the gym. Hold on, gotta let me go back. Something about character. Let me read that to you. My character isn't defined by my belt. That's just a piece of cloth. Not to mention, you're really not making, look at, when you call a 10th degree black belt out as a 2nd degree black belt, you're really not making your black belt look all that good, right? When you call out your senior what a man, he did it on the internet, which he does. He has the freedom of speech. I also have the freedom of speech to call him a fucking idiot. A guy who's accomplished nothing, but okay. Let me see if I can read this. So you're not interested in receiving a black belt then if it's just a piece of cloth. Got it. And Mr. Speakman, being highly sought out instructor, should respect the cloth much better than he has. I have mine. I'm an 8th degree black belt. But it's not the belt. It's what I learned while I was getting the belt. This is what's important right here. This is my notebook. 40 years. I've been writing it since I was a teenager. See it? Really thick, isn't it? Yeah, that's what's important. You keep talking about a piece of clothing. He puts up a video calling me out specifically. I'll comment on that afterwards. Again, he's a 10th degree black belt. Remember this. This guy's a 2nd degree black belt. Matter of fact, let's put into perspective what a 2nd degree versus a 10th degree black belt is. A 2nd degree black belt is an assistant instructor in Kempo Karate. He can't even teach a class by himself. Jeff Speakman, Master Speakman, Grandmaster Speakman, is a 10th degree black belt in karate, which means he's the highest you can go. You can't go any higher unless they invent belts. He's a 9th degree black belt in Gojo Ryo, which is a very traditional Okinawan form of karate. So yeah, this guy is, how can I put this nicely? I guess I can't. He's a peon. No, it's a symbol of what I've done. It's a piece of cloth. What I am is a black belt in my mind, heart, and my soul, not some clothing. You'll notice he skipped. You'll see in the video, he skips words and stuff to try and, Democrat. I think I know who he's voting for. Is this him? It's cloth. Obviously, you wasted your time getting yours because you didn't learn humility. You didn't learn respect for your instructors. He's not, and I'm talking about Grandmaster Speakman, who is, I'm in a different style, but he may not be your instructor, but he is a Grandmaster. And well, I know I've been doing it longer than he has. and you might want to go talk to your instructor and tell him what you're doing. Um, Maybe he can set you straight, or maybe he's just a horrible instructor too. And let's see. Oh, and then I came up brilliant. So let me get this straight. If your instructor told you to take off your belt, today we're going to do knife disarms with a belt, you wouldn't do it because, oh my God, it's a black belt? And well, the guy's not firing on all 4 cylinders here, all 6, all 8, whatever. He is dead, so it does not matter, but if he was alive, he would tell you that the same thing I'm going to, knife defense techniques do not work, neither do gun techniques. Well, I'm glad I didn't listen to your instructor years ago. I wouldn't be here right now. Yes, I got cut, but I still won. And then he comes back, oh, so you do care about a piece of cloth, then make up your mind it's a symbol. Yeah, it's a symbol. Yes, that's right. When I walk into the class, I tie my belt on. It's a symbol that I'm leading the class. When I'm on the street, I don't walk around with a black belt on. So am I not a black belt? When I take it off, do I lose my superpowers? And then talking about the knife disarms and gun disarm. Okay, 2nd degree black belt. I'll take that under advisement and train anyway. Here's where I asked him, are you afraid of a question? Would you be more afraid of my belt or my right foot? I'm making it easy as I can. You can't seem to be flying on all 4 engines blasting. If I took my belt here and I held it up, or if I said I was going to kick you in the head with a roundhouse kick, what would you be more afraid of? This? Ooh, mystical. Oh, watch this. You want to see me freak him out? Get him. Oh my God. No, we don't throw them on the floor. And that's his assertion. Jeff Speakman threw his on the floor. No, he put it around his neck so people could see he was a master while he was sitting down doing an interview. It seemed to, of course, I know who this guy's voting for because, well, I've watched some of his other videos, so he was looking for a reason to be offended. And in the video, he'll mention the 50s and 60s. I'll go through the video. This is when he gets his macho shit, like, I'm not afraid of any man. Online challenges never end well for the person throwing out the challenge, and for the record, I am not afraid of any man alive, alligators and crocodiles. Yes, man, no, what is wrong? Afraid of general conversation. Wasn't a threat, wasn't a challenge. Of course, in the next video, he'll mention 50s and 60s where they didn't throw challenges online. They went to the dojo. It's called dojo storming. And if you had a problem with a fellow black belt, they kicked out all the students, locked the door, and they hashed out their problems. I've seen dojos close because of that. And there's that macho stuff that motivates your videos coming to the surface. Not a challenge. Honest question, what's more dangerous, belt or foot? Not flying on all 4 engines, are we? You seem to think that colored belt gives you some magical powers. It doesn't. It keeps your gi closed. Which I don't believe this guy's been training for a long time. Challenges never end well. Shut up. But you'll see him mention the 50s and 60s multiple times in his videos. You're proving my point, so just keep it up. Maybe you can help my video go viral with your, and that was the whole, everything that was said, and that was the end of it. Then he said, I'm not afraid, I don't know why I didn't get it all, but I'm not afraid of Simon Cowell's foot, which I don't know if Simon Cowell trains in martial arts. You might want to look that up. I think he might have trained in Taekwondo. I don't know. Anyway, but Colin McGregor's foot. So I went, at the end I put, so it's the foot, not the belt. Got it. And I literally put damn, because it took that long to get there. But let's get to his video where he literally mentions me by name. I had to edit these together because... And here he is. You just... Well, he put other comments in here, too.
This guy's telling me I'm much...
This second-degree black belt was telling all these other people taking martial arts that their martial arts was worthless and that they should, I don't know, learn how to fight like a UFC fighter. And my question was, are you in the UFC? Have you ever fought in the UFC? Will you ever fight in the UFC? Where have you fought to make you an expert on fighting? They don't let you put thumbs in people's eyes and shit in the UFC. There are rules. Anyway, yeah, he's going to talk about everything I just mentioned. But obviously a teacher, which I used to respect teachers until this woke movement. I've watched some of his other videos. He's woke, not firing on all four cylinders.
Macho, which my comments and my replies are not macho.
I'm afraid of crocodiles, but no man. Everybody's afraid of somebody. He's obviously afraid of Jeff Speakman, or he'd get on a plane and go tell Jeff Speakman how unhappy he is with him, like back in the 50s and 60s.
And then he says right here that, would you be more afraid of my belt or my right foot?
Yes, is my belt going to kick your... Hold on. Let's try something. Got it right here. It's right here. Watch this. Watch. Do jumping forward thrust kick. Right here. Jumping forward thrust kick. Right here. Put it in my chest. Okay. Oh, maybe because we're in Brazil, I should do it in Portuguese. Chute semi-circular. Wow. That's fucking scary. Again, well, you know what's... This is a piece of cloth. This is experience. I've been doing it for 40 years. I don't walk around with my black belt on, so it's a piece of optional clothing. But back to...
Now, my response to that, okay, to Super Gringo, was the fact that...
yeah, and another one of my... Really, a second-degree black belt is lecturing a 10th-degree black belt again. Kempo isn't a traditional martial art. Please stop. He'll mention that later, but right now. So, yeah, he was lecturing Grandmaster Speakman, who is not my Grandmaster. He's just a Grandmaster, which makes him a higher belt than I am, on what he should do with Kempo 5.0 and what he did wrong. Let me explain again. Let me tell you what a second degree, it's an assistant instructor. He couldn't even teach a class in my style unless I was present. So, yeah, his skill level is, yeah.
You know, I'm not afraid of, like, Simon Cowell's foot, but you give me Conor McGregor's foot, well, that's a different story.
And right below that, where he didn't show it, it says, so it's not the belt, it's the foot. Okay. Damn.
And he's just being very, very rude and disrespectful in the...
Really? I'm being rude and disrespectful? You're the one flapping your lip to a 10th degree black belt. That's rude and disrespectful for a second degree black belt. You might want to, not let people know you're a second degree black belt.
Comments, and that's why I made this video. response. So let me get this straight.
Just like he makes videos, Taekwondo sucks. Have you ever studied Taekwondo? I have. It doesn't suck for what it's intended for.
If your instructor told you to take off your belt today, we're going to learn to do knife disarms with a belt, you wouldn't do it? Well, first of all, knife defense techniques don't work, and my instructor knew that. That's
How did he know that? Ever been in a knife fight? I doubt it.
why we had stopped training in knife defense.
Which is why I'm glad I don't listen to second-degree black belts.
He says, no, it's a symbol. And first,
That's what all it is a symbol. I could tell you I'm a black belt. Guess what that means? I'm a black belt. It means I could teach a class. It means I have experience that other people don't.
first he had said, no, it's just a piece of cloth. In the same sentence right there.
Yes, it's a piece of cloth. That's it. It's a piece of cloth. I am a black belt. I am an instructor. I'm a martial artist at a certain level. That's all. My belt holds my gi clothes when I'm in the dojo. I don't wear it around. Just like my sergeant stripes. I'm still technically a sergeant, retired. Why? It's a piece of cloth. It's the job. It's what you are. It's not it's not those stripes on your arm. It's what you are. This guy wants people to fear him. He's a second-degree black belt. Basically, he's a peon in the grand scheme of things. So, talking to a 10th-degree black belt, you're not making your belt look very good.
He says, no, it's a symbol of what I've done. It's a piece of cloth.
Yes, it's a symbol of what I've done. That's all. I could go buy another one. If that one disappeared, I'd go buy another one. Why? Because I'm a black belt. I just go buy another black belt. It's a piece of clothing. What happened to my black belt? Oh, we got robbed. Shit, I got to buy another one.
All right, well, make up your mind. Is it a piece of cloth or is it a symbol?
It's a piece of cloth. That's a symbol. I can buy another one, just like I could buy new sergeant stripes. When these got old, I could buy new ones. Of course, you don't ever trade out your black belt. But to be honest, karate didn't use black belts for a long, long time. Didn't use belts at all. You got a white belt. Matter of fact, some people didn't use belts until judo in the early 20th century. So, yeah, they're not sacred But he's upset that Jeff Speakman wore his around his neck. This lowly second-degree black belt is upset a 10th-degree black belt wore his belt around his neck because...
Thoughts down below in the comments. At how...
Here he is. I don't think he trains anymore very much. Just looking at him. Just saying, if you...
so many people say...
And Jeff Speakman has never thrown his belt on the floor. He wore it around his neck. So this guy's just he's a loony leftist, looking for a reason to be offended. And he picked martial arts? Really?
But this is just a cloth.
Yeah, it's a piece of cloth. This is 40 years of experience. See the difference? Matter of fact, my wife just took my cloth and put it away. This is 40 years of experience versus a cloth. Do you think when I take off my piece of cloth that I forget this 40 years of experience? Does that give you magical powers? Oh no, he's going to mention the 50s and 60s here. I want to tell you what the 50s and 60s were like. I don't know why he isn't trying to bring those back because, he seems to be very offended.
Yes, it is, but it's also a symbol
of that didn't start until the early 20th century.
And there's one guy in particular, and that's why I'm making this video. He actually contradicted himself.
No, I didn't. It's a symbol. It's a piece of cloth, just like my sergeant stripes are a symbol, a piece of cloth. I'm not. I'm still a sergeant, even if I'm not wearing that symbol or that piece of cloth.
And a link to his video will be in the description
No, there is no link to that video. I had to find it the hard way.
below. A link to that video will be in the description below.
No, it's not, because I went and looked for it because I wanted to get the actual all the everything I said, because he skipped over stuff.
So let's talk about this being a cloth. See, in the 50s and 60s, the black belt actually meant something.
Yes, when people like you whined and complained in the 50s and 60s, or you had a problem with and into the 70s and 80s, it was still happening when I was training. They would go to it was called dojo storming. If a black belt had a problem with another black belt in another school, they would go to that school. It's called dojo storming. They would kick out all the students, lock the door, and hash out their problem the old-fashioned way. I've seen dojos close because of that. So you can stop commenting about the 50s and 60s because you weren't there and you don't know shit about it.
And if you was a black belt, you were feared.
You're not supposed to be feared. You're supposed to be respected. I have no respect for you. You see the difference? Fear, respect. Fear, respect.
Because it took years of dedication to get this.
40. Yeah, it took me 40. And I'm still training. I just started training again after 6 years. Now, we're not going to get into my personal life, but let's just say I haven't trained in a while and I just got back training.
And for you, Super Gringo, to say that this is just a cloth.
It's just a cloth. It's just a cloth. I am a black belt. I'm a martial artist, a specialist in hand-to-hand fighting. But that belt is just a piece of cloth. What I am is a martial artist.
Over and over and over again, and starting to kind of get in my face about it.
Didn't get in his face at all. I asked him a simple question. What are you more afraid of? The belt or the foot? I would guess it's he fears Jeff Speakman, or he'd go tell Jeff Speakman to his face that he's not happy with Jeff Speakman, Grandmaster Speakman, and they could hash it out and it'd be over. I think Grandmaster Speakman would be very cordial up to a point. Or he may just laugh in his face because, well, a grandmaster being lectured by a second-degree black belt and assistant instructor, that's the equivalent. I play guitar. I know some chords on guitar. That would be like me walking up to like Mozart or Tchaikovsky and going, you know, if you put an eighth note here and a rest here, it would make this better. I would think that both of those, either one of them, would smash me over the head with a piano stool.
Just to say to you and to anyone else that thinks that this is just a clown, I want you to remember something, and I have no idea what belt level you are.
Just for clarification, I'm an 8th degree black belt.
I'm thinking you're probably a black belt.
Not in his style, or not in his, mine's, I wouldn't say, it's based on traditional arts, but things I've done, and, you know, I learned. I was promoted 6 years ago to my 8th degree and didn't train for like 6 years due to personal stuff, and just started training again, which was cool. And which is the only reason I even stumbled across these videos, is I was looking for martial arts videos to get training ideas, and all I got from him was trashing the art that he supposedly is a black belt in, and Grandmaster Speakman, which in my dojos, like, one, if you had a problem with it, let's say you were instructor, you took him in a traditional school, you'd say, "Sensei, can I speak to you?" And you didn't go on YouTube and run your face because, well, that makes you a coward. Go to Grandmaster Speakman and tell him you're not happy with him. That's the 50s and 60s way, and the 70s and 80s way. go storm one of his dojos, and maybe you can hash it out. Maybe I'll never hear from you again. I don't know, but give it a shot. I would have a little more respect for you than, but freedom of speech, you said, you're welcome, by the way, for your freedom of speech.
What I'm probably thinking, because only a black belt will get as pissed off as you have been in the comment section.
Yes, I was pissed off because a lowly second degree black belt is lecturing a 10th degree black belt on, well, basically shit you don't know anything about. Or you'd be a 10th degree black belt.
So, in the 50s, 60s, this meant something?
How would you know? You weren't there any more than I was. But my teachers were. Some of my teachers.
2024?
For instance, Dan Inosanto, he was there. I've trained under Dan Inosanto in Jeet Kune Do Jun Fan Gung Fu. Well, Jun Fan Gung Fu, Jeet Kune Do.
Not so much. You tell someone you're black belt 2024, people are like, so?
Yeah, like idiots who make videos on YouTube about how their own art is worthless. Yeah, idiots like that.
They still think they could kick your ass.
Yeah, like a second degree black belt who starts calling out a 10th degree black belt. Yeah.
50s and 60s, you were a black belt. Oh, okay, I don't want to get in a fight with that guy.
Yeah, they shouldn't even know you're a black belt. It should just something that you carry yourself in a certain way. So yeah, you're kind of making that black belt pretty worthless. You could probably throw yours on the ground and nobody, and like, I wouldn't care, because you've already disgraced it. It would be like me getting demoted, which I did in the Army once, for telling a colonel he's a fucking idiot for risking the lives of my men. So yeah, I will do shit for the right reasons and risk things, but you.
That's the difference. That's why some people say this is a cloth.
My experience.
I'm surprised at how many people in the comment section says that this is a cloth.
Yeah, because, well, they probably have experiences they remember. You keep talking about a piece of clothing, not about your, I've yet to see you talk about your experience, except to trash a 10th degree black belt's experience. A 10th degree in one art and a 9th degree in another. You're a lowly second degree black belt.
And that they're not actually standing up for the belt.
It's a piece of cloth. I'd stand up for you if you showed any decorum as a black belt, but you don't. You make black belts look bad.
And agreeing with me. Now there's a lot of people that agree, but I think there's more people that disagree. So I'm here to set the record straight that yeah, in today's time and standards, it is just a cloth.
Yeah, especially when they go on the internet and call out 10th degree black belts when they're a lowly second degree black belt.
But you yourself, Mr. Super Gringo, said it's a symbol.
Yes, it's a symbol. When I walk into the dojo, it means I'm running the class. You can't even do that without the permission of a higher belt.
So you're contradicting your own comments.
No, I'm not, because I don't wear my black belt outside the dojo, so I'm still a martial arts expert, even though I'm not wearing it. So it's a piece of cloth. It's a piece of clothing that I put on for training and take off when I'm done. But I'm still a black belt when I'm not wearing it. You seem to believe that belt gives you magical powers, which people are supposed to wet their pants when they see. Well, now, you earn respect. Like babbling to a 10th degree black belt is not how you earn respect. And trashing your own art is not how you earn respect. If you knew so much about karate, you'd be a 10th degree black belt. You'd have written books. People would listen to you. You'd have schools in 18 different countries.
And you guys will be able to see that in this video. So this is a second degree black belt. It has never been on the ground except for, promotions, when doing takedowns,
See, when Jeff Speakman promotes his students, they don't go on the ground either. They put the old belt around their neck and then tie on the old, that way they never touch the ground. Now in Koikan, yes, we put them on the ground. We'll put the old belt goes on the right and the new belt goes on the left, and then it's like you hand it like step by step, like a assembly line. Like I'll take off my old belt, put it on the right. My instructor will put the new belt on the left, because left, even in the military, is more senior, and you tie it on. But I've watched videos of Jeff Speakman promotions, and they'll put the old belt around their neck so it doesn't touch the ground. Jeff Speakman wore his belt around his neck and set this fool off. Oh my God, he's wearing his belt around his neck. He doesn't respect the belt. Oh my God. His belt's never touched the ground. He wore it around his neck. If my wife hadn't taken mine, I'd wear mine around my neck just to piss you off, but no.
Fall to ground, it's on your waist. I don't take it and throw it around.
You don't use it at all. It's for training. You don't train. I'm looking at you. I know you don't train.
Watch the other video, you'll see what I mean. I'm not getting into that here.
That belt looks really new too, like fresh out of the box with a couple stripes on it.
I just want to talk about the symbolization, because you say it's a cloth, but you also say it's a symbol.
Yes, it's a symbol. When you're in the dojo, you run the class. Well, I run the class. You can't run a class unless there's another black belt there.
I want you to remember how it felt to go from white belt to yellow belt.
Yeah, I was just glad that I didn't have to do any more kata. Yeah. And I did it 5 times. And I have a sash in Junfan Gung Fu Jeet Kune Do.
Most styles of martial arts, doesn't matter what you practice, that first color belt after white is usually yellow.
Yeah, I have one in Taekwondo. I have a green belt in Koikan. I have a black belt in karate, brown belt in judo, and I trained in combatives, U.S. Army combatives program.
I want you to remember how old you were. Maybe you were, 10. Maybe you
I got my first black belt when I was 13. How about you?
were a teenager. Maybe you're an adult. Whatever. I want you to remember how great it felt to receive that yellow belt.
It was the training. I got tired of getting beat up all the time. That's what I was there. That's a piece of cloth. I wanted the knowledge. See this? My belt is nowhere to be seen, but the knowledge is still here. 40 years.
How great it felt to receive the next color belt. For me, that was orange.
Now, once you get to a certain level, it's, can I get this technique so good that it's flawless? Like, once you get to a certain level, it's no longer about learning new technique. It's just about reforming all the other techniques.
Next color belt for me was purple. The next was blue. Let me see, white, yellow, orange. White, yellow, orange, purple, green. No, where was blue? It's been a while. White, yellow, orange, purple, blue,
Yes.
green, brown, black. There you go.
There's 3
That's
levels
how
of brown.
my Kempo system went.
There's a red
Every
belt
time I
between
got it,
first degree
orange
black and second
to
degree
purple,
black.
blue, green, brown,
they're just belts.
black. And I got so excited because all right, I'm a green belt. I got 2 more belts.
So you didn't care about the knowledge, you
black
just cared about the
belt.
belt.
That's how you felt.
No, I didn't. I wanted to learn more. Wanted to get better. I wanted to be a champion. I wanted to learn how to fight so I could win. That was when I was doing sports karate. I got as high as a bronze medal in kumite, in traditional koikan. But yeah. No, I didn't care about the cloth. I cared about the knowledge.
And I think you're forgetting how great it felt for you if you are a black belt, because you never mentioned and I never asked you what rank you are. I want you to remember how great it felt when you actually received this.
It's just a. It's like getting promoted to sergeant. It's a job, but it means I had more experience. I knew more techniques. I could move on to other techniques. It's about again, that's a piece of cloth. This is knowledge. Ooh, knowledge. Aren't you a teacher? I'm beginning to understand why our schools are in the shape they're in. Knowledge versus clothing. You seem to be into style and not into substance.
And I want you to remember the test that you put yourself through.
I didn't put myself through it. My teachers put me through it.
To get one of these, because I think a lot of people forget how many years of dedication, blood, sweat, and tears to get one of these.
Yeah, usually the belts don't look that new when you start lecturing people on their belts. Sorry, but...
You know, it took me 7 years to receive this.
7 years. That's generally what it takes to get a... Oh, no, 10 years. Yeah, about 10 years for a 7th degree black belt. Took me 40, 30, 45. So about 39 to get to 8th degree. So yeah, it's been a long road, but it's just a piece of cloth. It took me, a better way to put it would be, it took me 39 years to get the knowledge and experience to get my 8th degree black belt.
Belt. And I went through all kinds of crazy stuff. You can check out my other video on when I received my black belt. I made a very long video about that because it was an ordeal. And I was so proud to receive this, even though I know that a black belt doesn't have the same meaning in 1998 when I received my black belt as it did in the 50s and 60s, or even in the 30s and 40s.
In the 30s and 40s, karate was barely heard of in the United States. Maybe a few students. Back in those days, you didn't go to a school. They didn't have schools. You had to find an instructor who would take you as a disciple, and then you could train. They didn't have many schools because, well, World War II, and the Japanese and Okinawans were the only ones who really knew karate. Then there's, well, the Chinese. You could learn like kung fu, I guess.
Or even in the 20s.
He keeps talking about crap that he has no idea about.
But it still has a very, very important role in symbolization in 2024 because young children look up to their instructors.
You're not even allowed to teach, so who are you babbling about? And I know you don't teach because you don't train. Because I'm looking at that belt. It's looking pretty new. Mine's new. I'm not going to lie. Mine's new. I got promoted 6 years ago. Haven't really trained. Personal reasons. But, hey, training now. That's how I found your videos. Wow. But
they look at that black belt as a meaning and a goal. And that's what I want to get to.
No, they look at the person wearing it. If you're a total douchebag, it doesn't matter what you have around your waist. You're just a douchebag with a piece of cloth.
So every time they get a stripe on their belt, it doesn't matter if it's a yellow belt and they get a stripe, orange belt and they get a stripe. Every time they get that stripe, they're one step closer to that next color belt.
It's not about the belt. It's about the experience and the training, the knowledge. You had a horrible instructor if that's all he talked to you about was belts. It's about knowledge.
And every time they get close to the next color belt, they get a little bit closer and a little bit closer to the elusive black belt.
It's not that elusive. You can buy one. You can tie one on. Anybody can wear one. It's backing it up. That's the hard part. Because that's just a piece of cloth. It doesn't give you magical powers by tying one on.
The black belt is not so elusive anymore, unfortunately. And unfortunately, in some dojos, it's just cloth.
Yeah, it's pretty much what yours is, because you covet a piece of cloth. Instead of, I haven't heard you talk about, man, Mike taught me this and that, and it was great. All I've heard about is that stupid piece of cloth.
We just throw it to the side.
It's not stupid. It is a piece of cloth.
We smack people around with it.
Yeah, Jeff Speakman's never done a war around his neck and set you off, which tells me you're a loony leftist liberal looking for a reason to be offended. I can almost guess who you voted for.
Jeff Speakman is the worst. You mentioned Mr. Speakman. Mr. Speakman is...
Yeah, the guy you called Jeff, you know, the Grand Master, 10th degree, 9th degree, yeah.
Why I got into Kempo because of the movie Perfect Weapon. Like,
I guess I'm older than you because I got into martial arts because of Bruce Lee.
a lot of people did. So I respect him for that, but he disgraced the belt
He wore the belt around his neck.
by going on Art of One Dojo, I believe it is, and he
Even the guy who owns the Art of One Dojo channel is a higher rank than you are.
has his belt around his neck like this the whole entire time.
Oh my God.
And he's wearing his karate gi.
So,
When you wear your karate gi, the belt should be around your waist.
do you think you're in the army or something? No. I carry mine with my gi on when I'm going to and from the gym. Because I'm not going to change it to gym. They don't have changing rooms.
Not around your neck. That's why Mr. Speakman is a disgrace to Kempo.
No, you are. Babbling to a 10th degree black belt like you know something.
He has all these schools all over the United States and all over the world, and he's one of the most sought-after Kempo guys on the planet.
Yeah, because his stuff works. I see that you have a video on your channel where you're babbling about how bad Kempo 5.0 is, but you've never actually studied Kempo 5.0. Just like Taekwondo. You've never studied Taekwondo. How would you even know anything about Taekwondo?
And yet he goes on to a very popular YouTube channel and disgraces his own Kempo system.
No, he actually was very well spoken. More eloquent than you are.
And to own Kempo world by not wearing his belt.
He wore his belt where everybody could see it and see his rank, which is higher than yours and mine. I'm in a different system, but
And if you're wearing your karate gi, you're wearing your belt.
says the 2nd degree black belt to a 10th degree black belt. Next time I see a general wearing his uniform wrong, I'll go up and tell him he should fix his uniform, and we'll see how that works out.
I'm not wearing this because I'm not in uniform.
Yeah, you haven't been in a uniform in a long time, I can tell.
And I'm in the woods. Nice place to film.
You're just looking for a reason to complain and get attention.
Nice and quiet. You get that audio in the background from the creek behind me. Thought it was a great place to film. So don't disgrace your belt. I want you to remember how great it felt to receive that first color belt.
Yeah, the belt wasn't a big deal for me. It meant I could finally start competing. I could start doing kumites and kata competitions. That's all it meant to me. But later I learned, wait, there's knowledge here. I got to meet a lot of people. I've met Grandmaster Chuck Norris, through the fact that I became a black belt. That's experience. The belt's just a piece of... By the way, Sabom Nim Norris didn't wear his belt. He was in a suit and tie talking about Tang Soo Do. So, does that mean he wasn't a black belt? Because he wasn't wearing his piece of cloth?
Especially Super Gringo, if you were a child when you received it, because now it seems like you're disgracing whatever belt level you're at.
Because I'm not babbling to a 10th degree black belt? No, that would be you.
Maybe that's how your dojo is. Maybe your dojo's just throw belts around. Maybe.
No, we don't throw them on the ground. We use them for training. Yeah.
Your dojo's wear them around the neck.
Yeah, I have. Well, no. I prefer to carry mine just because I don't like people to see it too much.
Maybe your dojo's tie the belt wrong and they just don't care.
No, that would get you push-ups.
And you said Kempo is not traditional martial arts.
Kempo isn't a traditional. Calling Kempo a traditional martial art is like calling Junfan Gung Fu Jeet Kune Do traditional Kung Fu, which, by the way, they both started about the same time. Of course, Bruce Lee died before Ed Parker.
I missed you if I was on my phone now.
If you had to Google instead of just knowing it, well, then you need to go back to Kempo school.
Google Kempo Karate, the very first thing it's going to say is that it's a traditional martial art.
Yeah, let me guess, Wikipedia?
So yes, Kempo Karate is a traditional martial art.
Right along with Junfan Gung Fu Jeet Kune Do. By the way, Grandmaster, people may not know this, but Grandmaster Parker is the one who introduced Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do to the world at the 1968 Karate Open, I think it was in Florida, in Miami. So, yeah, about as traditional as Jeet Kune Do.
It seems like you're confused and you don't really know what you're talking about, Super Gringo. So get your facts together, do some research, and then get back to me. In the meantime, watch the other video, please, if you have not done so. It seems like Mr. Super Gringo did watch the other video, and that's why he's so pissed off. People forget freedom of speech in this country. We have the right to voice our opinion.
Yes, and you're welcome for that.
And to make these videos. So if you have not already done so, please subscribe to my channel. The channel's doing awesome thanks to wonderful people like you. And I'll see you guys.
So, yeah, that's his video. But, okay, that's me. I just spoke my piece on it. Be the last time I mention this guy. I got more important things to do, like train and make my art better. But, yeah, I didn't expect it to blow up like that. But, you know, he's a loony leftist who needed something to be offended about, and that's all it was. So, have a good day, folks. Remember, every Wednesday, new instructional videos come out about my style of martial arts. So, you know, go watch those. Especially the one on visualization. My wife today, we were talking, and she's like, I did 4 laps or 2 laps around the track. I was like, yeah, I just beat the crap out of 20 guys up there. And she's like, what? And I was like, visualization. I visualized, you know. So, yeah, go watch the video on the importance of visualization. That's a good one.